guess it's different. It's not tonight for you guys, but it's tonight for my night. Anyways, I am so blessed and honored to be on here with all of you guys tonight, because especially the fact that, and I can't even believe I have to break the news and say that I should have learned my lesson last Sunday night. I did a presentation, I did a training with Debbie, and I was wearing a sweater, and I was sweating like crazy. And then as I was getting ready for right now, I thought, I just really want to wear this really pretty sweater. And I put it on, and now I'm already sweating, and I'm all with all of you guys. So I'm just keeping it real with all of you guys. You know, sometimes it looks perfect from the outside, but it doesn't necessarily. You don't have to wait for everything to be perfect to get yours going. So the way that I'm going to do this, Cass told me to show up and be my best self, and I love that, because I truly believe that we can all show up and really be ourselves, because you know what this business is that it's just repetition over and over and over again. The things that we put into our minds is the things that we become. And as much as, you know, Cass said that I started in 2011, I did do the 5 clicks to become an independent consultant in 2011. And maybe you've done those 5 clicks to become an independent consultant at one time in your business. But one thing that I'm coming here to tell you is that maybe you haven't started yet. Maybe you haven't made the decision yet. And what I love about doing this presentation tonight is the fact that we're in January, and January is such a great time to make a decision to really start your business. And so for myself, as much as I started and clicked those 5 clicks, and I said, okay, I'm getting started with my business in 2011, even though I was the biggest snob when I was approached for this business. I have to do that, honestly, it was so far-fetched in my head to start this business. And you have to keep that in mind when you're approaching people. Like, when I was approached by my sponsor to take a look at this business, I literally was borderline insulted that she thought about me, okay? Because my perception of what Arbonne was and what Arbonne truly is was 2 totally different things. So you have to keep that in mind, that when we're approaching people, it takes on average 8 to 10 times, like touch and base and touch and go and relationship building, before somebody actually gets open to take a look at a business like this. And so that's really where I was at when I first got started. And I finally said, you know what? And parenthesis, my sister actually is my sponsor, and she's no longer in the business, but thank God it was my sister, because it was like, she's never going to stop asking me to take a look at this business until I go to a meeting. And when I went to the meeting and I walked out of that meeting, I thought, well, I'm going to get started. It gave me so much hope. I love the energy. I love the community. I love the positivity. I come from the fashion industry where everybody has to literally knock each other in the ribs to go up the corporate ladder. And I love the fact that when I walked in that Arbonne meeting, just like I find that just the fact that we do it on virtual, it makes it even better, because you really do feel the energy through a screen. And I remember thinking to myself, I really love the energy of this culture and all of this stuff. And of course, I heard the whole business opportunity. And of course, speaking in front of all of you guys tonight, as an executive national vice president, my results are not typical. And of course, go see earnings.arbonne.com to go see everything that's typical. But what I thought when I left that meeting, I never saw myself as a national vice president. I didn't see myself as a regional vice president. But as I walked out, it gave me so much hope to even earn an extra $300 or maybe $1,000. And I thought, if I really commit myself to this, maybe it will give me that. And so I did just that when I first got started in my business. And I committed myself to doing one presentation per week and to be on calls like this. So I really want to congratulate every single one of you guys for being here live, being here, being committed to being at the retreat. It is such a big deal, and it is so much effort as a leader to put on these retreats. So first of all, it's a huge thank you from Cass that you're here, but most of all, it is the biggest gift that you're giving yourself to show up. And I used to show up at everything that I could possibly show up to in the first 3 years of my business. But the real thing is that I walked out of every one of those 2 meetings, every one of those calls, all those things, always jacked up, but not necessarily making the decision and committing myself to excellence. And if we want extraordinary results in this business, we have to put extraordinary effort. And I didn't know what that really looked like until I took a real decision. And it brings me back to being in January right now, because in January 2014, I was blessed to find out that I was pregnant with my beautiful daughter, my first daughter, Sydney, who's now 6 years old. And when I found out I was pregnant with Sydney, I had my sideline business for 3 years. And it's like something happened. something just happened. And I'm not saying you need to have a baby to make a decision. You can make a decision based on anything. You just got to plant the seed in your head, and you can start taking those steps towards what you want to be creating this year or over the next 5 to 10 years. And as I was listening to Tony Robbins earlier today, we hear this so often. He talks about, we underestimate what we can create in 1 year. We overestimate what we can create in 1 year. We underestimate what we can create in 5. And how true is that? Because as I'm sitting here today in front of all you guys, I'm now talking 7 years later after taking a decision. And I was ecstatic. I had earned my team and I had earned that MVP challenge trip. And you know what? That when you see people being successful, it's not like one day to the next, just like that. That's consistent effort done over time. Okay. And so in January 2014, it was like literally like I drew a line in the sand and I said, this is it. This is the kind of mom I'm going to be. This is the kind of person I'm going to be. And I just made a decision on who I was going to be, how I was going to do it. And I started to put the real effort into my business instead of just putting drops here and there. And of course, being plugged into the calls, that didn't change. But my dedication to the activity, my dedication to my leadership, my dedication to building me became a whole different level from 2014. But the ironic part is that you don't necessarily always see the results, which brings me in so many different top tips for you guys tonight. And that's why I'm so joyful to come on here and to share really these top tips, because I became a national vice president in 2017. And as I was completing that qualification, I sat down and I wrote this list of these top 5 tips. These are my top 5 tips of what I've learned over the last little bit. And every time, even though as the journey continues, it's like, as you're going to probably presume, as you go through this whole training and this whole retreat, you're going to hear the same thing all over and over again, but all different ways, right? And that's really what, it's so simple what we do as for work when you think about it. It's not easy, but it's very simple. We show people how to purchase products and we show people how to get started with the business of using the products and sharing them, right? That's what we do. The biggest, people say this business is hard. I don't like to use the word hard. I like to use the word challenging, first of all, because it's has better vibration to it, first of all. And then second of all, it is a nice challenge. But the biggest challenge of all in this business is building you, is working on you. And isn't this best like business to be doing that with? Because either way, whether you were part of Arbonne or not, your best project for your whole life is you. It's to really come true to finding true love for yourself, because you can only love on other people as much as you love you, right? And as much as you love God and as much as you love the universe and all of these things, all those things align. So it all starts with you. So my top 5 tips, I'm going to go straight into them. My top tip number 1 is vision. We talk about vision so often, but it goes back to starting with you. People don't buy Arbonne. They buy you. They buy what you represent. They buy what you embody. And so when you don't have a vision or you don't have a dedication of what you want your life to be like, it's very challenging to start attracting really high quality business partners. It's because this is a high quality opportunity, right? And a lot of the times we just start to tell people, oh, well, you could do this, but we don't embark them on a vision. And so it's really important to get really, really, really clear on the kind of people you want in your business. What kind of people? Because I'll tell you what, I was like, in the beginning of my business, I used to say, I'm a business builder magnet, okay? Which is a great thing to say, but you know what? I started just attracting all kinds of random people to my business, which is not what I want. I want high performance, high vibration, high loving, high leadership, servant leadership. Those are the kind of people I want to be around. And so make that vision very, 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 very clear on not only the kind of business you're building, what kind of growth you're building, but what kind of people are you having embark onto your journey, okay? So be very clear on that. You know, I love it because my mentor, Debbie, she says all the time, if you had 2 buses, if you had one bus going one place and you had one bus going another place, but one place doesn't know where the bus is going, the other one knows exactly where it's going. Which bus are you going to get on? And it's exactly the same thing in our business. And make sure that vision also includes fun, Because one thing that I love about Arbonne is that it's a fun business. It's a joyful business. It's a spirited business. It's got all those components to it. So don't forget about that, because a lot of the times we get so caught up with the QBs and all of those things. When we just fall in love with the journey, we fall in love with our vision, we fall in love with what we're creating, and we put the work in on a daily basis, we're going to be attracting the right people, the right places, the right circumstances into our world. And so tip number 2, this is by far like all the tips are good, okay? But like tip number 2 is like by far my biggest learning, okay? The first 3 years of my business, I had, of course, enrolled a few business partners into my journey. And what happened was, and I always laugh, and like people who have heard me train, they hear me say this like almost every training, but it blows my mind that I was that kind of person. And so I had a team of people that I would just like invite, and we would listen to trainings, or I would listen to a training like this tonight, and then I would get off, and then I would call Nancy, and Nancy's not in my business. I've never had Nancy direct to me, so I'm just saying this for the purpose of example. And I call Nancy up, and I would say, oh my God, I just got off a training with Cassandra, and she was amazing. And she said, you need to get 8 events on the calendar this month, and then we're going to do that. Okay, we're going to do that. Yeah. That you're going to rock it out. You're going to go area qual. You're going to go area qual. Yeah, we're going to do that. You're going to go district. This is what's going to happen. And so then Nancy would call literally her other business partner, and she would say the same thing. I just got off a call with Alex, and she just told me this and this and this. And so what would happen is that every single month, I would either just map out my month, and then I would base it all off whatever they were telling me that they were going to create. And then I would say, oh my God, I'm going to become a regional vice president. They're just going to do all that. And like, I laugh, because that's really what attracts us all to this business, is the fact that we have the ability to enroll people in our business and to leverage the effort, right? We have the ability to do that. But the point is that this is 100% a leadership game. And so what you're doing when the lights are closed by yourself is so this is the vision that I have, okay? So if whatever I'm doing on a daily basis, like right before coming here, I'm in sweats. I was doing a personal launch for one of my direct business partners that's brand new. That's what I was doing. I'm leading my team from the front. And then I go to bed at night and I think, what did I do for my personal business this month or today? What did I do for my personal business? When I go to bed at night, I visualize that every single person that is enrolled direct to me or in my organization is doing at least 50% or less. And so never expect anybody to be doing more than what you're doing in your business. This is a monkey see, monkey do business. This is not a lucky, I'm going to pray for my ace to show up. Because I was that person. I was like, I'm going to attract this incredible person. But you know what? I had to become that person to attract those kind of high vibration, high performance people. And you might not be that person today, but you know what the best part is again, this is a journey about you becoming your absolute best. When I came into Arbonne, people would ask me to do 10 push-ups. I'd be doing 7. I'd be like, oh, it's good enough. You know, so maybe you're that kind of person. That's okay. Embrace where you are, but fall in love with really becoming the best version of you. And you're going to see you won't have to be chasing anybody, because all the rock stars are going to be knocking at your door and saying, hey, I want to join you. You stand for excellence. I want to be around excellence. And I'm so proud to say I have world-class athletes that are part of my organization. I was speaking to one of them this week, and she said to me, she goes, you know what I fell in love with about Arbonne? And I love also the culture, about the people that we're around. We talk about what we love. We talk about what we love all the time. And she was saying to me, she's an area manager running to go to a region. She said, you know what I love about Arbonne is that when she was doing World Cups and all these different things, she was always surrounded by excellence. And she goes, you know what I love about Arbonne? I get to be surrounded by excellence. So throw that out there, that you want to be excellence and you want to be attracting excellence into your world. And so number 1 is vision. It's all about you. Number 2 is monkey see, monkey do. And parenthesis, never depend on your team. I understand that we do have the ability to earn overrides on the teams that we enroll, but just pretend, okay, that you do not have those overrides coming, and keep building your business with your personal efforts, and you will see, if you keep doing that, the great things are going to keep showing up into your business. So number three was, oh my gosh, okay. Do not, let me just say it Do not compare yourself or your journey to somebody else's, okay? Like, the favor of the universe has absolutely its place, and it's already all planned out. If you show up and you do extraordinary efforts, it may not show up and the results might not show up at the time that you might have wished for, that you might have planned for, that you might have this and that and that. But I promise you, it's going to turn out better than anything else, okay? Because when you compare, I love this quote. It's like, comparing is the thief of joy. Isn't that so true? Okay? And I'm done with it. If it doesn't feel good, don't follow it on social. If it doesn't feel good, don't follow it. But I'll tell you one thing, is that the way that vibrations work in the world, okay, when you compare, okay, when you see something happening and that you would have wanted that, it's actually the universe showing you on a solar platter, hey, look, she's getting it. Don't you want it too? And if you celebrate other people's success a lot, you're going to draw in success. But when you energetically compare and you feel like, oh, she got to regional vice president before me and she got this and she got that, this is an even playing field. We all get to go build our businesses. And if we just stay in our lane, we stay in our energy, we stay focused on our vision, on what we're creating, let go of the noise, let go of the stuff that doesn't serve you, and just stay future focused. I'll tell you one thing that keeps me up, I think about where Arbonne's going to be in the next 5 to 10 years, and I literally get goosebumps thinking about where our businesses are going. I feel so blessed that Heather, 41 years ago, built a business thinking about each and every one of us. And don't dismiss that. Think about how you were handpicked by our founder. When our founder was building a business, he was thinking about us, right? He was thinking about all these amazing people that were going to create legacies. He didn't think about, I'm going to create this community that they can all look to the side and to the left and start thinking, oh, she's got this and she's got that, and then diminish their greatness from that. You were made for greatness, and this is why this opportunity found you. And so stay in your lane, cheer people on. You'll attract more great things into your world. And if it doesn't feel good right now to cheer other people on, just put the noise out. Just put the blinders on and just stay focused on where you're going. It will serve your energy, and it will bring you in a better place of peace, and it will bring you in a place where you'll be able to cheer other people on at your best capacity and in your greatest self. And so number 4, perseverance, which totally brings me, of course, they're all intertwined. Perseverance. You know, when you see somebody who's successful and they pop out of nowhere, I'll never forget it when we had the amazing our Canadian conference a couple of years back, and our team had earned so many great awards. We had earned it all in all the categories. And I remember getting off that conference and going to Discover Arbonne, and people were literally asking me, what's your team's secret? What's your secret? The secret is there's no secret. It's hard. It's not hard work. It's challenging work. It's consistent work. It's compounded over time. It's just over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. I've listened to Debbie do a Discover Arbonne. I've listened to the recordings thousands of times. I've listened to Discover Arbonne thousands of times. I actually realized, and I had an epiphany this week, I've probably done over 1,000 Discover Arbonnes in my career in Arbonne, because I minimum do 3 to 4 of them a week, right? So it's going to compound over time. Perseverance is literally when you watch somebody that shows up in a spotlight, it's because they've been in the darkness for a little while, right? They've been in darkness and they've been doing all this stuff, and then all of a sudden, you hear about all kinds of celebrities that say oh, they just popped out of nowhere. And today I was watching, that billionaire, the girl that created the Spanx, and everybody thinks that she just popped out of nowhere and had Spanx, but her journey started when she was 16. It took her 20 years to create all that, right? People don't see all the effort that's done on you. So people don't see all the events that happen. And so I'll tell you, when we talk about perseverance, there's going to be times in your business that it's going to be very inconvenient. There's going to be times in your journey that you won't feel like doing it. But that's why your vision has to have a hold on you. And when my first daughter, because I'm blessed with 2 beautiful daughters, my other daughter just turned 15 months old. When Sydney, my oldest one, was 2 years old, I did not put her to bed for literally 15 months. It was a journey to MVP that I will never forget. And I felt so, like, I was exhausted, first of all. I was doing presentation after presentation in my car, physically going to people's houses, two to three events, sometimes in one night. I was out every single night doing my business. And it just felt like it was not happening. And I remember going for a walk and feeling totally exasperated from building my business, and like going for a walk and crying. And I still get very emotional thinking about that moment, because it was a really crossroad moment where I could have just settled to be just a regional vice president, which would have been a sweet spot, but it would have been only about me. And then I thought about all the people that would be waiting on me showing up, and all the people that's lives would be changed if I actually shared Arbonne, and they would be blessed with this business too. And I remember listening to, and if you ever feel down, the best thing to do, the best remedy from Alexandra Sauve, just go on YouTube and type in motivational video. It'll just jack you up. So that's what I did. I went for a walk, and I just listened to motivational video, and I'll never forget, I don't even know who said it, but I heard the right words, and I really believe it was like God and the universe just planted these words into my heart. And it said that the pain might last for a day, it might last for a minute, it might last for a week, it might last for a month, it might last for a year, but at one point, the pain will subside and something else will take its place. And when I heard that, I just bawled, and I thought, this is it. I'm literally, the pain will subside and something else will take its place. And it's like opening the gate up and just come on in. All great things are going to be showing up in my life. And so that it's not a miracle when you see somebody promote to big levels. And that's why we talk about compliance, and we talk about going to see earnings.arbonne.com, because the people who end up in the top 1% have been defeated. They've had so many obstacles come their way. But you know what excellence does? They go around the obstacles. They don't just stand behind, right? And a lot of the times we say to ourselves, well, people will say, I tried everything. Try everything, but you haven't tried courage. You haven't tried perseverance. So just keep pushing through, and you're going to see it might be dark times, but dark times don't last forever. At one point, the pain does subside and the light does shine in. And my last point for all of you guys is personal growth. Now, the person we walk into this business is totally different than the person that we become throughout this journey. And I don't talk about a destination, because national vice president, as much as you might see that as a destination, you might see a regional vice president as a destination, it is absolutely a journey. And the best thing about this business is that there's no end point. We keep getting better and better and better and better over time if we consistently feed our brains the right things. And this is not just in Arbonne. This is when we talk about the best of the best in the world. They feed themselves, like they overpour themselves with positivity constantly. I listen to so many excellent people in my life, and I listen to podcasts. They all say the same thing. They listen to audiobooks all day long. Like, I was so excited this week. I got a notification on my phone saying that I beat my goal for audiobook listening for the year for January 20th. And I thought, man, this is the year of greatness. So I encourage you, like, just blow whatever cap you had for yourself or your goals to feed your mind with positivity, because when you are so full of positivity, it outflows in everything that you do. And so let go of the things that are negative, let go of the things that are not serving you. And 95% of the things that we do is based on our subconscious. It's based on the blueprint. It's based on what we showed up in. And when I showed up in this business, I came from a small city of 40,000 people. I didn't come from wealth. I came from a very middle-class family. I didn't come from a family that said, just push, go ahead. They would say, oh, you don't have to do that. You don't have to do that. You don't have to do that. And so that complacent mindset was something that was in my blueprint. And just by taking on and listening to trainings like this, come to every training, listen to everything you can get your hands on, go get the audiobooks, get the books, read the books, do all the work on you. And the person that you will become and the people you will attract will literally fill your heart with so much fulfillment, because at the end of the day, this is not just, we talk about a business opportunity, but this is so much more than a business opportunity. This is a soul's fulfillment opportunity. And I really am so grateful to have been invited here tonight to be sharing my heart with all of you guys. And I wish you a blessed year ahead. And I hope that I get to cheer you on along your journey. So thank you so much, Cass, for inviting me on. I love you all. Take care.